see it. Thanks.
Why did you decide to ink your own stuff?
Originally, it happened because of scheduling conflicts. Terry Austin was supposed to be inking Fantastic Four, and it just worked out that he couldn't do it. And it was one of those, well, it'll be Terry or it'll be some Nazi. And I said, I think I better do it. I better do it myself. Because at least then, if it's horrible, I'll be the only one I can blame. So. And by God, it was pretty horrible. But I got better. I think I got better. I hope I got better.
I know in the Fantastic Four you experiment a lot with different...
Yeah, I went through a lot of different stuff trying to figure out what to do. And then, of course, we ran into some weird scheduling things there, too. When I took over the Fantastic Four, I was 3 months ahead of schedule. And then Marvel changed the schedules twice. By the time I left the book, I was 2 months behind schedule. This is producing a book every month. And somehow I lost 5 months because they changed the schedules. And because of that, we ended up...
Even at 3 pages a day?
Yeah. And we ended up with, me having to do layouts and ink the layouts and leave space for the lettering, which meant no backgrounds. So there was a bad period there on the FF. Finally, I just said, no, I'm going to go do Superman. That'll be safe. Har, har.
Have you thought about coming out with another sketchbook?
No, not really. Because the weird thing is that I really don't do very much for public consumption sketching anymore. Most of my time is spent just drawing the comics. For years I've had what I call the sketchbook nobody gets to see, which is where I draw just anything at all that I feel like drawing, and it's where, because I know that nobody's going to see it, the drawing is always better for some reason. And slowly that whatever is better in that slops over and ends up in the regular work. But like if I was to publish one of my sketchbooks that nobody gets to see, it would defeat the purpose.
I see. Well, that's a shame.
But hey, you get all this exciting stuff every month.
When I was a kid, I went to a convention and they had your other sketchbook, or I guess your only sketchbook.
Yeah, the Art of John Byrne.
Yeah, and I balked at the price and I kicked myself.
You can probably find it fairly cheap these days.
I haven't found it anywhere.
Should have brought a fat marker. Well, I made this little statue of Jasmine that Dark Horse is mass producing.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for somebody to show me one that they filed the costume on. Barbara Kiesel was telling me that there's some guy out there who's got like a career where you send him your action figure and he'll file the costume on it, turn it into a naked action figure. Well, most of these ladies, they all look the same. You take the costume off, you're not going to know who it is. This is Wonder Woman. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Somebody with too much time on his hands. Well, if he wasn't doing that, he'd probably be a serial killer. I remember Jerry Ordway telling me one time he's sure that's where serial killers come from because they have too much time on their hands. And they're sitting there with nothing to do, and they start to wonder what the neighbor's kid would look like as a lamp.
How many attendants does Renee actually have in her office?
Attendants? Oh, you mean the guys with the bare chests?
Yeah.
There's 8 or 9 of them.
Oh.
So you sculpted the statue?
Yeah.
Now, is that something that you've done for a long time, sculpting? Or?
I've been experimenting with it for probably 3 or 4 years now, since I found some stuff called Sculpey.
Oh, yeah.
And I've made a whole bunch of different figures. Like, I really hate the vinyl kit of the thing, so I made my own thing.
Is that a good one to start with?
Well, yeah.
Seems like the chunks would be easier.
Yeah. Well, it was a case of figuring out how to make it look like the way I drew him. You know, where he doesn't look like cobblestones. He looks like a dried-up riverbed. Which is also, of course, the way Jack Kirby drew him. People don't remember that. And I made a Fin Fang Foom. It's one of my favorites.
So Jack Kirby didn't like your rendition of OMAC?
He didn't like my own man.
I thought that was great.
But the cosmic balance is that Steve Ditko apparently once said that I'm the only person who does Spider-Man right. So I said, I'll buy that for $1.
Himself accepted, or?
No. Other than him. That was reported to me by a fan who said he'd met Ditko. I don't know if Ditko really said it, and I really don't want to know if Ditko really said it. Because I like it.
It's a story that works just as well if it's apocryphal.
Yeah. Apocryphal, that's where the dark side lives.
Is he still back here making all us, try to be artists feel bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Oh yeah, that's Stover Propulsion. That would be.
The thing that I like to do that really freaks people out is when I sit here and I look at you while I'm
I mean,
drawing. This is my convention trick that I've learned to do over the years.
You're in a corner back here. We could just block you.
It's a man. I'll use something like a straight edge if I don't have to fake it. Excuse me.
Nice improvising.
Copyright Walt is no.
Yeah.